Why are you in a dressing gown?
I'm in the middle of filming a sketch for tonight's episode of The Last Leg.
And what have you got on underneath?
I'm playing a superhero called Blade Man who fixes problems with his prosthetic blade, so I'm totally...
Actually, give us a quick look, because we can't see your blade.
I'm not sure
there.
that I can on daytime television.
Oh, trust me, we're taking our makeup off. They're going to see way worse.
It's not...
While you're there, people normally see you in your suit and what have you. You don't normally see the blade.
Well, that's the thing. This is a new... I only got this a couple of months ago, and I was so excited to get one of those really cool blades. But the problem is, as soon as you say I've got a blade, then people make an Oscar Pistorius joke. And I just kind of thought, well, something needs...
Reclaim it.
So that's what this sketch is about. I'm Blade Man. I'm going around the world saving the day with a blade, and I'm not shy. It's just this is. It is daytime television. It is half term. There are children at home. I might just go back.
It's interesting because that's where the whole Last Leg thing came about, wasn't it? It was a show that was part of the whole Paralympics, and you thought it was just going to be a one-off during then, and it's taken off.
We hoped that they might ask us back for the next Paralympics. That was our big plan. We didn't expect to be on every year until the next Paralympics. So now it's come around. We're going to Rio this year.
Cool.
Very exciting. And now
you can put your dressing gown back on.
No, I'm going to stay like this. The weird thing is we're going to Rio, and Brazilian people don't have the same kind of sense of humour that British people have. So, you know, we could make jokes about the Paralympics and we could talk about disability and be quite open about it, but I think the Brazilians have kind of gone, yeah, I'm not quite sure this is going to work in Rio, so it could be interesting.
About that, the very, you know, obviously famous British comedians Monty Python, a couple of them in the papers this morning talking about humour and how it's changed, and sort of, I know we all kind of do it all the old days, but they're sort of saying that humour now is too politically correct. But actually you're flying in the face of that a bit.
Well, I mean, as long as it comes from the right place, we don't do it just for the sake of trying to shock. We wanted to talk about the Paralympics, and in order to do that, you have to make people feel OK with disability, so it all came from that.
But do you think it's because you yourself have a disability that it's OK for you to make that joke, but if you didn't, people would go, ooh, you know, the whole Twitter meltdown again?
Oh, undoubtedly. I mean, this all came from the fact that I was in Beijing for the 2008 Paralympics, and I realised how much funny there is to be had. Because disabled people have never seen that many disabled people in a room together. So they're as freaked out as everybody else. So they think it's hilarious, and they've got a sense of... I saw a Swedish Paralympian walking through the athletes' village in Beijing wearing a T-shirt saying, yes, he's my boyfriend, holding hands with a dwarf, and it had an arrow pointing down. So I knew that if we could tap into that when London came around, then there was a really rich vein of comedy. But you have to... The secret is you have to respect the sport first. You have to say, this is an amazing sporting event, which it is, and then at the end of it you can go, having said that, that blind long jumper just missed the sand.
How will you adapt? You know what you were saying there, that you're worried that they won't get your sense of humour. That sounds terrifying. I mean, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I mean, we're broadcasting back to Britain, but we will probably have a local audience, so there's going to be a whole bunch of Brazilian people.
So you'll have people not laughing at you, but you're just having to focus on, hopefully, the people at home are.
Probably. It'll just be cutaways to, like, just Brazilian people going, this is appalling.
Now, obviously, you know, it worked fabulously well during the Paralympics. Have you had to change, obviously, the weekly show at all, or is it sort of in a similar vein? Because you talk about the week's news. Obviously, all of it isn't related to disability.
No, not at all. I mean, every now and then a disabled story will come up, but the focus of our show now is talking about what's gone on during the week. So today it's all about the EU. We're trying to explain whether or not... and people.
How are you going to explain that?
Explaining it's the easy bit. Making it entertaining is the difficult bit.
Because I like your analogy. I've heard the analogy that you're going to use.
Yeah, it's like a boy band. It's like, you know, are we going to... Is Europe like Take That? And we're going to be Robbie Williams, who goes on to have a successful career? Or are we all going to be like Blue? I was really choosing which boy band to use.
And they always watch the show, Blue, as
Oh, do
well.
they?
Yeah.
Who's on the show tonight?
We've got Catherine Tate on the show tonight.
Oh, she's brilliant.
Yeah, she's amazing. And also hilarious because we're talking about Twitter with Stephen Fry being
Right,
you know,
yeah.
making a joke and then going off Twitter. And Catherine Tate isn't on Twitter at all.
Oh, really? Okay.
Absolutely
I
has
think
nothing to
that's
do
a
with it.
good move, actually.
What do you think about Stephen and that?
I think he's admitted that it's a bit of a strop and he'll probably come back.
Yeah.
It was a massive overreaction. I mean, you know, you've got to remember that this is a friend of his that he made the joke about. But there is a thing when you're an audience and you don't know that you have a relationship with that person.
That's what struck me, you know, how fragile it is. He was like a millimetre out, wasn't he? If he just pitched it just a bit more, with a bit more of a smile, he'd have won. But the other way, the way that he went, everyone... I mean, I was in a room with 6 people. We were... Did that just happen?
Yeah.
Because it seemed so rude.
But he said what everybody was thinking. I mean, not necessarily the phrasing. But when she walked up, we all went, costume designer. You know, she sort of turned up in her jacket and jeans or whatever.
Well, is it funny? Because I was thinking, I was like that, thinking, I applaud you. Everybody's there going, ugh, really uncomfortable, and she's an amazing woman who's won a BAFTA.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. So I just thought that actually it missed the point because he said bag lady, and we should have just been applauding. It was woman wins award rather than woman wears frock, which is what it seems to be.
For more Loose Women action, click here. And I'd subscribe if I were you. It's totally free and it means you'll be kept up to date with new videos and exclusive YouTube content.
All right, chinny. And I went, what? You just crossed the line with your chin out like this.